I got my chart. No, this is like when the music's playing. Remember all that shit?
It's okay. The backwash.
Almost got that on camera. Yeah. You ready?
Yes, sir. All right. Yes. Good morning, y'all. Good evening. Good afternoon. Wherever you may be. You're at the table with Mike, Money, and
Outcast
my man,
Exotics.
Outcast Exotics. We got today as our guest, y'all. How we feeling today, y'all? Chris, how you doing, bud?
Really good. Really, really good. We got our studio is in go mode, and I'm thankful that we're here. Thankful that we're rocking this.
Blessings,
And,
blessings. Yes.
Yeah, it's rare when you'll hear me say that, so enjoy it.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited to come in today, dude. This has brought a smile on my face for sure. The studio's looking amazing. I love it, brother. Fuck yeah. Good job. Yes, dude. So today, I decided to bring my man's Outcast on and, just talk a little bit and let y'all get to know my friend here. I was blessed to come upon this gentleman. I'd say about, I don't know, how long you been working at the shop?
I was gonna say probably about 2 years.
Okay.
So I'll say I've probably known you for almost a year.
Yep. So I got into the shop a few times, and it was always a good vibe with this gentleman. I could always just sense the, not only just a good customer service, but just like a good heart and a good genuine bud service.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to give it to you on that, right there. As a consumer and a bud tender, I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, fam.
And that shows you the level of the service of the industry. And that, like, in the industry, you have people that are like, oh, man, bartender conventions. You know what I mean? Receptionist conventions. And now we have all these little things that used to just be, like, underground networks are now officially, like, we're colleagues within a field. That's pretty cool. So.
Right. Within the marijuana field. And is honestly, so that's where, I got to be introduced to this gentleman. And over the year, I've seen him do his own thing with YouTube and Instagram and dropping reviews on products and just being out there and just dropping that positivity and something in life that we all could use and I love and appreciate. So yeah, that's why I brought you on today and just talk about what's up,
Hell yeah.
the industry a little bit, but more importantly, just the positivity about life and marijuana and how it brings us all together.
Knowledge is power, and I think that's crucial for people that are doing things because, and I see this, in our day-to-day world is that we take for granted that we grew up around it or that we had the badass uncle that showed us all this little secrets and everything. And it's not like, oh shit, that's where it stops. No, why are we doing this right here? Why are we taking our time? It's to inform people, to let them know, you know what I mean? The simple things, even that we've already way surpassed, there's somebody that hasn't even, vibed on that yet. So.
Right. Yeah. So it's great to be able to, share that and live that. I got distracted by that fucking camera right there.
I know you want one now. So now by the time we're doing this next time.
Too funny. Oh, man. Yeah. Got totally distracted.
Hey, we're growing really well. So
yeah,
props to that.
absolutely.
On that tip. And thank you again for coming. I'm
Yeah,
really
of course.
excited.
Thank you guys
So-
for having me. I really appreciate it.
So where are you from? Where tell us the story.
Got
here.
you. So I'm from Rosemont, California. It's the desert by Palmdale, Lancaster, Bakersfield. I worked originally at the trap shops. I wasn't in the legal industry.
Yep.
I was in the traditional instead of the rec. But I moved out here to work at Green Chamber in Riverside.
Cool.
And then started
Copy
over
that.
there. And then I moved my way over to Plant Galaxy. Try to still stay in the shop guidelines. And then I'm trying to eventually work my way into being a sales rep, so I can start doing sales for that company and try to make something off of that.
Bitchin', yeah. So there's a lot to that. Have you ever grown?
I've only grown like one time, and I literally grew it out of like the little cups and shit. Like
That's
the little,
cool as
like,
fuck.
Like the clones.
Yep.
I bought one from a shop and just grew it. I didn't even know you're supposed to transplant it and transport it. I just literally let it grow in the cup and let it reach its full potential in that cup. Like
You can take it with you, man. Like,
yeah,
hey.
like literally, like that shit was like portable as fuck. It was so easy to like maintain.
Do you have any room temperature water for my friend?
That's funny. No, hell yeah, your own personal little plant, dude. This is like,
No tap water, please.
that's funny. No, hell yeah. No, that's good,
That's
dude.
actually really cool because a lot of people in the industry are these master growers or people that have, I can honestly say I've been like a laggy, laborer on bigger grows, just helping clean shit or break up the little, things that they do the hydros on. So still my knowledge is very low, but that's even badass that the industry is so big now that, because your knowledge is in the sale of the finished product and all of the possibilities with that finished product. And I think that's really fascinating shit. Like, So cheers to that.
Yes, sir. I was saying, like, especially since I'm not from here, like, it's just crazy how much love and support I've gotten out here, and like how much I've grown from working at like the traditional shops to now working at like a full rec shop.
That's cool.
Like, it's cool to like get that love and like everybody's genuine.
Yeah, it's gonna be honestly. So what? Restaurant, venue, which is like House of Blues. So you're getting huge acts, big shows, all with the front end flower that's sold, house flower.
Yep. This is the first year that it's official. They have the cafes open. They got the San Diego's got their one out there. You can go listen to live music, get your flower, get your bud, and consume all at the same place. That is,
That's where it's at.
yeah, it's amazing. So,
To have a bartender break out a dab tender. Ha 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 ha.
I like that.
Dab tender.
Yeah.
Yes, just said that. Okay, so, but yeah, you'd be able to sample it, and then if you like that, I didn't like that one's too citrusy, but I like this one. Can I get 3 grams to go for the road? Yes, sir, no problem.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll be doing it like that per se.
What the
I don't know
fuck?
if- but I don't know.
I guess
why
you
not.
can't take a 6-pack of beer from the bar home.
You know what?
You can at some bars.
At the breweries, yes, you can.
So it's be like that, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it not?
No, it will. But you're gonna have your cap, your bags, but
Yeah,
That's fine.
which is cool.
A gram for the
Which is
road,
cool.
even just because it's like if you have one that's really good, then you're gonna wanna. I want to go home.
Yeah.
I want to get in my underwear and dab this shit again.
Well, that's the cool part about the restaurant and thing. You know, you can go there with your friends and experience something that you wouldn't usually experience. You see that on the menu, and then now you know that's going to be a part of my palate from here on out.
Yeah, no, and then you can obviously buy it in the morning or when the
Well,
shop's open or whatever.
I was gonna say, have you guys ever been to the artistry in West Hollywood?
No,
Not
heard
yet.
about it though.
So
Yeah,
I would say, yeah, there you could buy your flower and take it home after you're done smoking. Like after you're done.
like a doggy bag
Yeah,
grab,
yeah.
bitchin'. So then, if you could do that, then you could even have the shop that's like the lobby of the restaurant. So we're dabbing. I've maybe maybe they give you a fucking piece of paper or something that you go back into the shop with and go, this is what I want 3 grams of this. Can we do that?
Yeah, no, you should be. I mean,
He's gonna be governor, so don't be tripping.
Probably not 3 grams because the damn fucking rules. You're like, no, it's got to be that 3.5.
You see how I'm segueing.
I just wanted a gram. No, 3.5 is the minimum.
Sir! That's when I step in. Tased up. What?
Sir, the man said just 3.5 and that's it.
You've been warned.
Gotta love it, dude.
But that's cool because that just shows you that it all revolves around what? The strength that the sales aren't depleting. More and more people are getting into cannabis. More and more people are choosing cannabis. And then socially, instead of us going out to a bar, we'd be going out to one of these places. Yes.
Yeah. And then there it goes back to the good service and that genuine heart bud tender that you find out there.
Big time.
You know what
and
I'm
then
saying?
even take it a step further. Now you're a rep for a major company. We talked about this in the last episode. That's people having badass qualities of life with families and home ownership in the whole 9 yards because you were able to pimp that product out like that. I find it's fascinating.
Yeah. It's great, dude.
Sativa or indica?
To be honest with you, whatever gets me a good high, and as long as it tastes good,
Wait.
and then on top of that, it has to, it depends on the type of time of day. So, like, sometimes
Okay.
I want to smoke a sativa to keep me motivated, keep me focused, keep me alert. And then sometimes I want to just be couch log, relax. So I want to smoke that good indica. But for the most part, I'm learning I like the hybrids because I like the best of both worlds. I like that
Yeah.
full body high and then that mind high, that mind that keeps you going, but your body just feels comfy, relaxed, chill.
Hey,
But your
man.
mind's ready to go a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Mutts are superior, right?
That's right.
Then there you go.
That's right.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? You blending them together.
I'm a mutt.
I'm a mutt. I'm a big time mutt.
And I'll say I just smoked that giraffe pussy from Doja.
Uh-huh.
And I'll say that was a bomb 50-50 hybrid. And I just did that review on my YouTube. Shout out Mike Tyson.
So
man.
check that out, yo.
Definitely. We're
Cool.
gonna definitely plug that. Outcast Exotic Talks.
Jeez,
My
all
man.
one word, man.
My man's love it, dude.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that, my boy.
Yeah.
Well, good job on the roll, my man's. Dude.
This is very impressive.
I
must
appreciate
say.
that's another thing I do for a living is I consider myself a professional roller. I try to like always nitpick every day. I try to learn a little bit better skill, try to get better at it. But I do like 2-gram joints and I'll put like a 0.5 of rosin in it and roll hash holes.
Beautiful.
I'm trying to eventually become the roller for 710 Labs.
Okay.
I'll be sick.
There you go. The event parties and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man, those things are big. Those things, they're going big lately, man.
Like I already started like my little merch lineup.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
I like
nice.
it. Little guy right there. Let me see that bad boy.
Is that a chillum?
Nah, that's a torch.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, that's a bomb. They have a bomb ass hash holes. One of my favorite hash holes in the game right now. Shout out my boy Ray, man.
You know I'm old as fuck.
I have
Like,
smoked a couple of these, you know. Pre-rolls are pre-rolls, and, you know, they do have their good and their downsides.
Yeah,
You know
that's why what I tell people.
They've evolved, though.
To be honest with you, like I tell everybody, there's rarely any pre-roll that I'll go spend my own money on because as you could tell, I could roll my own.
Yeah.
But the only ones that I found that are consistent 100% and I've always gotten one and never been disappointed is heavy hitters.
Okay.
Diamond heavy hitters, those are my personal favorites.
I never had a clog, never had a...
Yeah, I've never had clogs, never had like really black ash like that. It's always going to be like smooth.
That's bitchin'.
Okay,
I-
so
I-
you heard it right here.
But
Heavy hitters.
got a tattoo right here,
Okay,
man.
that's the only pre-roll
And-
that will not clog on you, as my man says
sir,
right
that's
here.
why they got the
and
diamonds,
he smokes
man.
too. I'll
They
tell
got
y'all.
That's why it's better to smoke their diamonds because they're whole diamonds. They're not all like gooey, like when they
Okay.
put infusions. That's why it always gets clogged because it's too much infusion and then it gets clogged in there.
Right.
But they're solid diamonds, so as soon as it hits the fire, it already evaporates.
Yeah.
Copy that. And what's cool is you have standards. So pre-roll 15 years ago was garbage, right? Total garbage. Now you have performance. Does it smoke well? The ash quality. You right then, you know if that's some boo-boo or
Yeah,
not. You know what I mean? So that holds the manufacturer, now back to the rep thing, that holds the manufacturer to a standard, and the manufacturer can now start doing it. And if you notice some of these major brands, you know, they had an issue with it, with an article or some pesticidical issues, misrepresenting, you know what I mean? And you got to be careful of that. It's just like anything else. Alcohol, shit. If you want to make pickles, you got to do that shit the right way.
Your operation's got to be tight.
And then the money can come. But by respecting that, respecting the wages of the workers, respecting all those little is it the hard road or whatever? Because some people cut corners, but no.
Yeah.
I think it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, and that's what I try and tell customers and folks out there when it comes to those pre-rolls. It's like, you're honestly, with no disrespect to the companies at all,
Yeah.
but you kind of are taking a gamble at that pre-roll because of the just the sheer fact of these things are rolled out on the hundreds, and a mess up could happen more than
Okay, but here's the real. Let's just play ping pong. Marlboro cigarette. Whether I'm in India,
yeah.
Japan, you know what I'm saying, and that just shows you that's major corporate, obviously.
Right.
But they had just dumbed that down to complete and utter. The one thing about corporate world is that it's the same. Starbucks, again, same shit. Now, I'm not like a proponent of that world, but when you want that level of consistency, you know you're going to fucking get it.
Yeah. But so
I didn't mean to bring the tobacco in there, but there is something like...
because now it could go down a total different.
Well, no trip on this. So my grandpa was a tobacco farmer, and he taught me that like the cigarettes were the lowest quality of tobacco. That was like the shit that was got mud all over it.
Right.
Cigars were number 2, and pipe was number 1. Okay. So in the ways of flower, because obviously it's a much better thing. I'm like, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore.
The same.
It makes sense.
I'm not about that. Like and even with blunts, if you smoke blunts all the time, some people that smoke blunts, they smoke blunts. Like that's what they smoke because it's tobacco. You're getting a little of that,
A little bit of both, yeah. And some folks will not do the hemp wraps for that sheer fact. They need that little tobacco
kick
in there. You know what I mean?
Nicotine's some real shit. But
so now that all makes sense on how and why you get such the low quality. But
the pre-rolls also say that a lot of them are rolling them with B and C nugs. Like it's rare if they're ever rolling them with A nugs. That's why, like I tell people, if you're gonna buy a pre-roll, either way you're gonna spend money. You spend $20 and up for a pre-roll because they're all gonna be trimmed, they're all gonna be shaked. But most of the time when they're $20 and up, they use whole nugs. They use better stuff. Some of them are hand rolled. I try to always look for hand rolled because if they're hand rolled, you know that they took their time with it. They paid somebody to roll it, so they're not gonna let them mess it up. Versus a machine is just pumping them out all day. They could be too loose, it could be too tight. They could have got some other extra stuff in there. They could have accidentally got paper in there, and you're smoking paper and you're smoking the flower.
More concentrate, and then there you go with the clog.
Yeah.
what you know about a Cuban cigar is hand rolled. That's one of the main things, like upon the tobacco being the best of the best.
Exactly.
So that shows you that, and that's all within an island. They're not, as far as I know, they don't export or import the tobacco. So you got your shit all together, which we're all talking about here. Then it shows you the consistency and the quality will be there. And because that's the thing, once somebody I know, even I hear it every day, oh man, you don't have that mango whatever anymore, or it's the reverse. They always are gonna get that cinnamon chocolate because it's always available, and it always, But you hear it, then they're like, man, it didn't taste the same as it usually does, or something, and that's because it
changes.
It does.
And I was gonna
change.
say, and then sometimes they could take different characteristics off of different parts of the parent off the plant. Like it could have got a little bit more gelato on that one, like if it's lemon cherry gelato, and then now it's more cherry this time. So it took more from the mom from that angle. It's just like when you have a kid, it's always going to be different. Like they're going to have a lot of the
That's a
similarity
good point.
thing. It's like raising a family. Like
Cletus!
It starts going down the line.
Why can't you be like your brother?
For real.
so funny.
Poor Cletus. Don't pick on him.
Yeah. That's why this weed goes hand in hand with us, man. It's just like us. We just like it.
It truly is.
I'm telling you, we're all connected, man. Like the plants, the earth.
Yes,
us.
sir. That's right.
Hey, but another thing about the clogging thing is that's why when I roll my joints, if you notice when you're hitting it, it doesn't have a filter. I don't put a filter in the middle because it makes it so it doesn't clog more. And then I always hear somebody say, "Well, what if you get flour in your mouth?" Well, that's why you gotta know how to roll, and then you won't have flour come in your mouth. Do you get flour in your mouth? Did you get flour in your mouth? That's why I
No. I'm gonna sound like my dad. I've been smoking a lot of joints, man. This is one of the top. It really is. It's got it all, and you just did it right here before we went live. So.
Yes, sir. That's
Pow,
why.
pow.
That's
Props
what I
to
was
you,
gonna
my
say.
man.
Thank
This
you,
is some
brother.
tasty stuff too, bro.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's that Candyland right there, man. Shout out Backpack Boys.
Backpack boys in the house.
My man, it's a good job too on the roll again. Once again.
Thank you, my boy.
Sheesh. Yeah, the flavor profile in that is excellent, bro. Smooth, really clean. Like it.
Thank you, fam.
Fuck yeah.
Candy Terps.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite flower, my boy? Like out of
Me?
as not as far as brands, as far as like taste profile.
Personally
high,
wise, yeah, I go with the sativas, the hybrids.
Okay.
Hybrids are my thing. I love hybrids. Lately we had a mochi recently. It was a super nice hybrid. And
Okay.
that was really cool. But yeah, mainly I'll go with the sativa because I like to stay active. You know what I'm saying? with that jujitsu, it fucking really helps. You know what I'm saying? Smoke some.
The indica takes the pain away.
Yes. So, and then, like you were saying, it all depends on what type of mood I'm in, type of day. You know, if I'm getting going for the day, I got some yard work to do, jujitsu. Let's get some of that strawberry cough, and then we set, bro. That is my ultimate go-to on the sativas.
Okay.
Where do you get some strawberry cough? What's your brand?
Well, you know, it's just rare when it does come around or when I do find it, but a lot of the times I grab those pre-rolls. I'm not gonna lie, because
So, like back in the day, in the real like I used to live in Wisconsin, strawberry cough, badass strain, right? But it takes an extra 20 days or something like that. So a lot of the growers weren't doing it, except for the bougie ones though were. And you always got that one friend growing up, and his brother would just get this like insanely award-winning herb when it was way underground, you know, not on that level to do so. And it comes down to just being these badass underground growers that were fucking with strains like strawberry cough. That's like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And it was a strain that I remember very well because I was just like, it's fruity, it's florally, it's just badass, heavy,
and it gets you fucking
beautiful.
going.
Yeah, it was everything. It was dense, and that's what they were saying. It took a little longer to grow, and damn, it's like whiskey or vodkas. You know,
wine.
they're probably more like whiskey and wine. Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I've actually grown it myself. I've grown that. I've grown Tangy. Tangy's another really good one that I love. Just the flavor profile. And
Is that related to Jack Herrera? That vibe?
Honestly,
That citrusy
I was
vibe?
gonna say, I felt like it was. I haven't smoked it yet, but I got this one from Blem. I've never smoked Tangy, but I literally just got this one from Blem, and it literally smells like similar to a Jack. But like I said, every Tangy, every strain's like different.
yeah,
It's crazy. There's all the different citrus.
yeah. No, back.
And then I didn't even know it comes from lemon skunk too. I thought it was just like Jack Herrera, but it's like I'm learning like the languages and everything. It goes down to like all the way to like lemon skunk.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's super tasty. Super fucking
They
super
call it
smooth.
legacy growers.
Yeah. But so lately, Jeter actually, their new quads, they have the strawberry cough with the rosin, so it's a little mini hash hole.
Okay.
Okay.
Ridiculous little price. So when you're on the go, you know, those are so
tasty.
easy.
Yeah, I'll say it was smoking though.
So there goes the thing too. It is probably 2 out of 10. I get a clog, and it's just a fucking random. You never know when you'll get that clog.
Yeah.
But I normally have a little pipe or something to fucking just throw it in the fucking chill 'em real quick. Just finish
I mean,
it off
dude,
with that. But
So you could buy what's the limit? An ounce, right?
28,
Yeah.
25.
yes,
So
for the flour.
let's all time warp to the steakhouse, the cannabis steakhouse, if you will. Do you eat meat?
Yep.
We're at the steakhouse, dog. What's up? I buy an ounce. Maybe someone's got a little roller on the side, you know, and for 50 extra bucks or something, you get half of it rolled up like that. Some badass shit. That's just another job right there. It's another service, you know. That's maybe extravagant. I don't know.
No, yeah. That would be a kick-ass restaurant, honestly. A cool-ass experience. I'm pretty sure.
You're getting, like, the
Many
whole vibe.
private rooms.
They should add it. Like what I think they should start adding is like how they should make it like legit. Is they should make it the only way you can do it is if you're required to have an Uber.
Okay, yeah.
Because then there's no. Then what's the problem with somebody getting too high?
Yeah.
Like because you can get drunk as fuck and leave and go get on an Uber and drive home. So why can't you get stoned as fuck at some location but this place requires an Uber. You have to show them when you walk in the building, like, look, I got an Uber to pick me up at this time.
Yeah, or so-and-so's here to pick me up. Or you even have the fucking shuttle bus.
Shuttles.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm
Straight up,
saying.
if you're within like a radius, and that keeps you're actually on a business level. Now you're pressing all the locals. Hey, come through.
Yeah.
We'll take you home, bro.
You know, you're giving them business, so you're like putting like more business out there for everybody. Everybody's eating at
Oh, yeah.
day.
Bitching.
Fuck. Sounds like a grand old time. Sign me up.
Now just throw. I don't know. Can we have a beer? Nah, it's too much.
Nah,
Too
nah.
much.
No alcohol is needed, really.
You're right.
I mean, you want to go
It's
have
just
that
food,
experience.
so yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm with it, and it's about the food and about the
Yeah,
music.
you don't need a
Yeah,
liquor
'cause
license.
I would say most of the time when it's a flower environment and everybody's just chilling, eating, or like just smoking in general, it's always a good time. I've never had no bad vibes anytime I go to these events. Like it's always like solid.
Amen.
Right.
But
Right.
like if you go to a bar, there's always something that cracks off.
Absolutely.
Something.
Hey, let's
Somebody
go to the
can-
bar. Yep,
The
and then
cabs are
y'all know
here.
how that goes.
Woo. Early 20s. I can say it again. There were some nights where we were going out with the boys and it was either we're fucking or fighting. That was
I'm
the
gonna put
attitude.
the fight music.
Oh my god, that was what the attitude was. And I just know the vibe for a lot of these college dudes and no offense guys, but
Yeah. That's
you
testosterone.
just
That's
go-
natural.
Your
like, in a
natural
way.
testosterone. You're just gonna go somewhere, So let's get high instead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're only gonna learn some shit, figure out some shit, and meet a new fucking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's it.
say we got to be the new generation to show them like the different side of life and show them,
Absolutely,
like you can have a good time just smoking. You don't have to do everything. You can
absolutely.
just smoke and have a great time.
Yes, and you can
And
still
old
get
school,
shit done too.
Old school, you want to be competitive. 'Cause hopefully, you don't want to like dull the horns, right? So, but through training, hey, we got mats.
Yep.
Through just real old school competition. I think that's cool. Like even on like some, all right, I bet you I can roll one faster than you. All that little stuff plays into it.
Yeah.
I like to just chill and play some darts while I'm smoking. Same
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? Now you can put some
builds character.
money down on it. Yeah.
Or you got those homeboys that you fucking smoke with, and then you go roll. You get down on the mats, and you
What's
fucking
up?
have the best fucking couple hours of your life. Hit the gym. There, you can do so many things on weed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're keeping it natural in the sense of those.
Or I mean,
We're gonna go there, but how do we deal with it?
on medicine, not weed.
Because even
But
if you
either
have
way-
like let's say we have like a rip roaring argument, that happens in life. Two non-drunk people throwing at each other, it's more of gonna be, I think, a controlled situation where the danger is, wow, boy falls back, too drunk, there's just all that shit that alcohol
Countless-
brings. I think
countless things that could happen.
But we're not here to just thrash that. I'm with it. The steakhouse, baby.
Fuck yes. Oh, I could use that steak and a fat dab, or the dab as we're waiting for the steak to come out.
Yeah, there's like a pre-meal, post-meal. There's like a little courtyard you could go out on.
But it's got to be rosin because you can't do BHO
Yes.
before you eat. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a particular one, and you got to be brought here. These are the options for the steak, and it's gonna match perfectly with this steak.
Yes, you
And
gotta
only
par. You gotta
this.
par it perfectly with that.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like for that you need some Donnie burger. You need some GMO, that garlic, mushrooms, and onions.
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
Okay, so you know how like a fancy restaurant they bring the card out to show you
Yeah.
what's available.
Yes.
So they could be like, we have these strains and it's fresh because they're gonna press it, and you choose which
Right
one.
there in the side, you can see the kitchen, and the kitchen
Dude,
is the
bro,
fucking
that-
lab.
And he's even like,
legendary,
he could
bro.
be on the mic like, all right, I need 3 hits of the fucking whatever
3
this
hits,
is.
my boys.
He's in New York all of a sudden now. I don't know how the fucking system
That
works.
would
But,
be hard, bro.
but then you get 3 fresh patties come out.
Man.
It's like a fajita. That shit's sizzling.
Bro.
It's literally pressed moments ago.
We need to be putting this down on the business plan because they are giving they're letting people do this, It's
We're
city by city.
time-stamped.
They are letting it go by city, the certain.
That would be fire, though. You know what I mean? That would be legit. And to say, wow, I want to try to introduce somebody to that. Yo, I'm going to take you to this spot. They serve badass food. They got it all.
Badass. Dude. It's gonna happen. I mean, it's already happening, but it's gonna be happening in more cities, and to be a part
Definitely.
of that.
We need the feds to roll over on that. We need to just get, that real momentum happening,
I mean, shit. They could do so much with it, with the money. There's a lot of money to be made.
Money talks, bullshit walks. So that's how it goes, and that's why with the industry, keep staying organized, keep the aspirations of like, yeah, I want to vibe on these brands. It's, you know, that's how it grows, is with our own sweat and our own participation in that shit.
We're the next generation, man. If we don't keep it going, man, who is?
We setting the tone, baby.
That's right. That's right.
I'm telling you, Burner gave us a torch, man. We gotta keep going. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out Burner from Cookies, man.
Big shout out, because I remember doing like festivals and all that, and he was the king of the, like, I was like, what the fuck, like, and that was one of the first time I think a strain was going so hard in the paint, because OG growing, you couldn't grow the same shit 10 times in a row. That's the other part about it, the consistency.
Yep.
You need these genetics, this mother that you clone this certain way, and this doctor dude's been doing it for fucking 100 years. You know, it's got to be dialed in like that.
Yeah. And you got, it's got to be done right too, because if you can have it all, you could have all of the right money, the right formula. You know, you got to have the right people behind that, the right helpers.
Yep.
Have people that are loyal. You got to treat them good, you know, because if you don't, the quality of the product will fall down, you know. And no matter how much money you put, how many fucking promotions, free weed, free this, free that, the people will still know that product is.
Dude, it's either fire or it's not. It's like, and it would be like that with vegetables or beer or wine.
Yep.
And definitely the person that's, you know, growing the tomatoes even would be like, what? Anyone else can't do what I do. So I teach in my whole crop. And that's where the participation though now, okay, stock options within the company. You feel me on that? That's some real business talk. Like
Right, yeah.
now we're feeling the ownership. You know, I don't know if unionization or whatever would be cool or not, but look at other industries and just think about it. Just if it's there, it's there. You know what I mean? Like the entertainment industry is unionized. I had to be in the union, but I don't think I ever got paid like on some union job shit because I wasn't working for Disney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's weird. You know, I was always just paid like cash. You know, and there's certain industries that are like that. When they were doing certain laws changing and taxes, it was a nightmare. You know, for being an artist like that, you were basically like a taxi cab driver, like taking cash and having to do taxes and all this shit.
Yeah. Figure it out all your own.
Dude, it was a nightmare. And for many years as a musician, that's why I just lived under the radar, like on the couch and shit type, you know, living. But it was always like, damn, I want something bigger and better. And the cannabis industry, honestly, has really provided me even with somewhere that's like, okay, a lot of what I learned out on the road, I can take and at least bring to the table somewhat on, like you said, customer satisfaction, who's buying that product, who's coming back to buy that product. And when you repping that shit, that's the thing. When new markets are opening, that's a big deal. Because they're going to be like, damn, we want that so-and-so on the shelf. Well,
Yes, sir.
money.
They see the hype behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That shit gets real. Especially if you heard about the brand Ted Buds.
I have,
Hey,
you know.
I'm telling you, that's a big hype in itself, man. I got customers every day coming in as soon as the new drop comes out, wanting to buy up all this shit.
That's what I
And they're pretty pricey.
I hear people come into my shop and they're like, "What? You got that Ted Buds?" Nope. But
That's heavy.
No, I feel it. It's
You're like,
I
damn.
said, no, like I said, like I started like seeing like the hype behind it and like seeing like what they got and like they're like consistent. Like they're coming out with new stuff every week. Like every new week they're like coming. And that's what's great about being a outsourcer, like white label and stuff. Even though you don't grow it, you're very picky more when you're paying your own money to buy something. So if it doesn't reach your key, what is it called, quality control, then like you're not gonna get it.
And a lot of like wine, again, just food. You know, so and so uses only the finest grapes in their wines. That shit happens all the time, and that's like exactly what you said. And I think that that's kind of in the vibe of like, no, we're not growers per se. You're quality keepers, and then that it's like, go ahead, growers, just grow, and maybe we dumb down from 10 million strain names to just like a basic few, because I know with most plants,
Yeah.
you know, you have that. It's
But
and then you can get bougie all day still, but just mass productively speaking.
yeah. But like certain brand, like West Coast, they got hit with the pesticides in one of their strains, whatever, you know, this last couple of years, and it hit the papers big, you know, and that's because
And that's like bad press.
that's just one of their risks that they went on of one of their, you know, findings, and they're bringing it to the people, and I just like, how does stuff like that get through, you know, and
That's
then
what
like
I'm saying, they're not QCing it enough. Like if it, they're not like if they're letting that pass through, because like I said, the people that like I talk to, like it has to meet so many standards, and
Right.
they'll even say that they'll see that they won't accept it through their brand, and it'll get passed off to this brand, and it's good in their brand. It's passing, everybody likes it and stuff, but it didn't pass their QC.
Yeah.
And they are looking for specific things, like making sure it doesn't have heavy metals in it, making sure it doesn't have pesticides.
yeah.
Like so, like that's why like
So it's good to have companies like Ted Buds.
Yeah, like that's why I started respecting, because some of the growers, like if you're a grower, you grew that. It costs a lot of money to grow that. You're gonna push it to anybody.
Hell
It
yeah.
doesn't matter what if it was good or not. You have to push it because you grew it. But like when you're an outsourcer and you're really like out there and like you're sitting there like doing your QC, like there's a lot of stuff that I'm picky about that wouldn't pass my QC. Like,
And
so
it just
like,
gets
I could
passed
only
down the
imagine-
line. Yeah.
So I could only imagine somebody with like higher expectations and putting way more bread than I'm putting. Like they're definitely gonna be like,
Facts.
oh yeah, I'm not picking that up. Like,
Facts.
Yep.
put
Hell
that on
yeah.
somebody else. So I look for like more white label. Not all white labels are good, because there are a lot of brands that just get any and everything and they'll just put it on the market.
No
But-
QC going. Yep.
yeah,
You
but
gotta make
I
sure.
respect the ones that are actually QCing like good stuff, and then the real growers that are really growing stuff that is good. Like I shout out 710 Labs, shout out Cam. They growing like good flower, and they grow it all themselves.
That's cool. And 710 is old school too.
Yes,
so.
sir. Since 2010, man.
Damn.
That's
Good
crazy.
stuff too, all the
2010.
way.
I was saying, I used to go to the secret sessions and play music and shit, dude. And old when the envelopes.
Damn, I remember those days when
Bro, the
wax used to
packaging.
come in the fucking envelope. I tripped out when I first saw rosin for the first time on a fucking paper. Like,
Yeah,
that shit
dude.
looked all crazy as fuck. It was all gooey and shit.
Yeah.
Because they just pressed it.
Yeah, they had the press right there. I remember the first time I was like,
y'all remember that? Shit tasted like straight weed plant matter.
yeah.
Yep.
It was, and that tripped
looked
me
green,
out. I was
dark.
like,
It turned green.
Dark.
dark green, and it was just
Your
goo.
your whole bowl would be black too after a couple of dabs. It's just
Yeah,
like, what
it
the-
would fucking be like, fuck. You're getting the whole thing. We're pressing for sure. Everything.
absolutely.
70U, 120U.
Damn. So, dude, the waiter has a cart. It's got the press. It's got it all. It's got the e-nail.
Now that would be legit.
Homie,
The
that's what I'm
press
saying.
come out and you have the lid
It's
legit.
at your table.
Yeah, that's
that's
what I'm
white
saying with-
glove shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say with
bro.
whatever you want. Cause like I was gonna say, for a great example, like I've always wanted to try some Ted's Buds rosin. They don't have that, so
Dude.
imagine they could just be like, oh yeah, you want to press that one? That's your favorite? All right, we'll press it.
There you go.
hold on. Just follow me. Follow me on
go.
this. Imagine you're out to dinner with your lovely lady, and along to the table comes your waiter. He has a cart, and on the cart is a press and an e-nail for you to smoke and get a fresh press of the bud you have just chosen.
Just imagine.
I'm liking it. I
We'll
love
probably
it.
edit that out, but
You never know.
I try.
Oh shit.
You feel me on that though, right?
Yeah,
That's
for
some
sure.
to me.
That's some player shit. 'Cause
cue
I
the
was
fucking
like, fuck.
violins. Yeah, player
And then,
shit.
And then I was gonna say, and then you like how you're saying about the professional roller, like bro, like a lot of people can like you could give them like some bomb ass flower, they don't know how to roll it up, or they don't know how to even smoke it right. But if you like had like a professional roller roll that up for them, I've even seen it go as far as they'll light it for you just so you don't fuck it up,
Bro,
It's like,
dude.
and that's some player shit to me. Then like, let me light that for you, sir. Here's your joint.
Yeah,
that's
no, like I'm a
Some
dabber,
guest,
right?
guest appearance rollers, like here we got so and so from Amsterdam coming down. You know what I'm
to
saying?
roll. Yeah, bro,
Okay.
switch out the rollers so like all the rollers get love, like from different rollers
Yeah,
from different.
homeboy from
Like,
Like
that'd
your
be
date,
sick.
Yeah.
they want a joint, you know, and you're all like, "Damn, I'm not gonna rock one." But you tell the waiter like, "Yo, hook them up. They want a fatty with some hash in
Yeah.
the middle."
And you
And
get
they
to
have a
see
menu
it.
for this shit.
Yeah.
Instead of you picking out pre-rolls that they already have
Yeah.
pre-rolled, you get to sit there and be like,
Some
I want
chef
that
shit.
flour, and you're rolling it because I bought it. You just pay like a little roller fee.
Right.
Bro, we just did that.
Not only at the table.
Crazy, legendary.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. So say a word and it shall be. That's like what the Rastas would always say. I played reggae music for a long time.
Okay.
That was my connection into cannabis world. And again, going from that raw, under the table, but there's reggae songs about, hey, this is how I feed my kids. So can you respect that part? And I think that's whether you smoke or not, you got to come with that. And that's where I was saying money talks, bullshit walks. So as long as we making money and we getting new customers up in there, keeping that customer service big, that's like a huge thing for me, because it's like fine dining, I think, in that regards.
Yep.
And if we can elevate it, then it's like food. We put it in our bodies.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Fucking A. You're definitely getting laid that night.
If you don't get laid that night, I'm sorry, there ain't not much that we can do for you, my brother.
Good weed.
But we wish you
That's what I'm
luck.
saying. Like, that's some player shit. He pull up like that. Like, I got this roll for you. Have her name on it on the tip.
Perhaps it was not meant to be.
No, both
player
your
shit.
names. Both your
That's some
names.
player shit, bro.
Dude,
That's gonna be at my wedding.
some badass stoner chica would just
I'm
be
marrying
like,
a
yeah.
joint.
Bro.
Have the
Sitting
hash
with the
hole.
hash hole right
Have
there.
the hash hole queen right here. Have a hash hole rolled up like that right there, my boy.
By the time you finish this joint, you shall be man and wife.
I love it. Oh, yeah.
We can write our own book. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my wedding, my boys, one of my boys, Nathan. Shout out Nathan, I love you, brother. He brought a whole bag full of joints, and the biggest joint in that bag was for me.
That's
We smoked those motherfuckers. Oh, we were so lit, bro. The beers, it was just perfect.
see,
Thank
and
you,
that's,
brother.
that's what's up.
Oh man, yeah, that's great. That is great. The whole, the whole joint thing, professional rollers, because you're thinking we could have a weed social in every single town. How many weed socials could there be? How many different jobs could there be open? Not
Like
only
farmers
for the
markets.
staff, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Farmers markets.
there'd be a lot of money involved in this. So
And not even just that. Not even about the money. Like how much peace there'd be. Like everybody would be calm. Like all this fighting, all this like crazy chaos going on.
100%.
beautiful.
Like,
You just
Well
said it
said.
right there.
Yep.
like chill everybody out. Like they see the statistics. They don't like a lot of people that are stoned. They're just chilling, vibing.
Yeah, another friend, another person to relate to, and then could you just imagine, instead of they got all these events with all these, you're out there, you're raging it up, and lately even the raves, because I remember back in the day I would go to a rave. Everybody would always know, if you're going to a rave, you more than likely are not going to see a fight. That's how it was
True.
back in the day. You would just go and there was no fights. There was no drama. It was just like most of the-
dehydration, overdose.
yeah.
Seizures.
And most of the times because it was these events did not have alcohol. They were all 20. They were all ages, and it was just water and soda at a lot of these places. You know what I'm saying? And so, can you just imagine, taking that and just having that same aspect where you're only getting juice, water, and marijuana. You still have all the music, the smoke, and
just chill vibes.
it'll be just an amazing time.
And then you never hear anything bad about any of these events going down. Like if you really think about it, like all the ones they be having in LA, like
Lately.
it's always good vibes.
Yeah.
And the juice is like some fresh, bougie. So we were talking about this before. I'm going to keep bringing this up. I've seen it where they do the wheatgrass juicing. You know how people do wheatgrass?
Yeah.
But they take the water leaves and you can wheatgrass juice that and get shots. And it's like marijuana, wheatgrass. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And I want to get that. We're gonna order wheatgrass. What the fuck is it? A shredder, grinder, whatever the hell it is.
Juicer.
It's a juicer.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a
That'd be sick.
hillbilly. My bad. Yeah,
It's
a
all good.
juicer.
yes,
Baristo, please.
sir. I'm all about that juice life. I love those.
Yeah.
I love those ginger shots. Everyone,
Nah,
get
that
up on
shit's
those.
gas. Nah,
Get
ginger
up on
shots
it.
are fire. I'm fucking with that CMOS gel.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
That shit's fire.
CMOS. So my wife, she started that. She did it. I didn't really look into it or care
Okay.
to. So you
Okay.
wanna
Well, I
tell
was
me?
gonna say, so me, my boy, like I didn't want to fuck with it either, but my boy just kept telling me like it help you with energy, it help you with this, and I'm very against coffee, energy drinks. I don't drink no energy drinks. The only energy drink I drink is like sativas. That's
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
energy.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
so-
For sure.
Props.
So like I try
Yes.
to, I sit there and just deal with like my tiredness. I'll just sleep 2 or 3 times a day sometimes, if like depending on like if I'm not working, of course.
Yeah.
But ever since I started taking that, I'm not sleeping as much. I have a lot more energy. I'm more focused. I'm more clear headed.
That's cool.
Like, so and like I've noticed that. I've noticed it helps me like eat. Sometimes it'll help me eat less. Sometimes it'll help me eat more. Like it helps my metabolism. Like I understand like my eating. Like before, I'll just eat crazy and just like munch out and like or not eat. But now,
Is it
like,
a
I can
powder that
control it.
you mix in with shit, or do you?
No, it's a gel.
So
So
it's
it's
a
like
gel.
yeah, you can
CMOS
mix.
gel.
Yeah, it's a gel.
Literally
You can
looks like
mix
hair gel.
You want to
Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out
I've seen
somebody
it
that
feels
makes
like
it?
Hell gel. It's shout out True True CMOS gel.
True. See, do you get it
True.
online?
Yeah, you can get it online. You can get it at Sprouts.
Okay.
Get it at Sprouts, and then you
can
eat
use
the
my-
gel
you
raw.
can use my discount code.
What?
Okay. Oh wait.
It's gonna be Outcast Exotic 17. for that
Okay.
Damn.
15% off, man.
Okay.
All right, we'll definitely put that in the description for you guys to
Yeah.
check that out on yourself. I'm definitely gonna look back into it because
Yeah,
I didn't really give it a go. I probably tried it one.
I'm jumping on it. Come on,
but-
let's do it.
but-
Yeah.
CMOS
let's do-
gel.
How long have you been doing it?
I did it for the I haven't done it for that long. I've only done it for I'll say about like 20 days, but
Okay.
it took like 20 days to finish a jar.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I just
So you would
finished the
probably
jar.
fill it within
But
the
I
first
wanna-
week.
But I
of-
want to experiment
yeah.
with other
Right.
ones because that one that I tried, well, their brand in general is made from Ireland. There's another one that's made in Jamaica, and I want to try that one. It's purple.
Okay.
Damn.
And it looks like
Ireland,
crazy looking, but they only mix it with one other ingredient. So I want to try theirs because the one that I'm trying is mixed with like 10 different ingredients, 20 different ingredients. So I want to try that one. So I mixed with like 2 or 3.
No, man, we only use 2 ingredients. Yes,
I was
man.
like that. It's gonna be
If the
crazy. But they,
Rastas are doing
but they-
that.
and then they said it only lasts a month. Like the one that I got lasts a long time. That one only lasts a month, and they said it's supposed to taste fishy because it's real sea moss from the sea.
Wow.
I was like,
Jamaicans do some crazy roots like Irish moss. If you ever all ever heard of that, it's old school. And
Okay.
your mom supposed to make your motor run good, you know. So it's all that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And that's knowledge again passed on about what do these plants do and how would you even know? Like, yeah, let's go get some sea moss, dog. I got some snorkel gear. Like, you know, how do you even? You just gotta learn and be shown a cool thing, and then you're like, yeah, I'm about to go support that business. Order me up some sea moss.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't believe it until I started taking it. I started seeing like my
That's cool.
Like, you can feel it in your body, like it feels good. Doesn't taste the best, but it tastes better if you really mix it in with like something else, like a smoothie or something like that, or like a juice. Or
So you can
tea.
do that.
Do you
too.
like to just
Yeah,
like
that's
pound
what it
it?
says on the thing. I just pound it just so I
Pound
can
it.
get the full
I'm with
benefits.
you.
And,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then like
That shit
I
over
feel
with.
it immediately. Like
Fuck
after
yeah.
I take it, as soon as I walk out the door, I'm ready to go to work. Like I'm ready.
Sea
I
moss.
just got done after I just smoked the sativa J. With that locked in.
Feeling good.
Locked in.
Neptune.
Like I always
A1.
say.
They asked me how do I do my 5-star customer service. There you go.
Okay.
That's that 5-star.
CMOS.
CMOS.
Shout out.
CMOS jail.
And
Right.
some sativa. I'm telling
CMOS.
you.
Moss gel.
All right. Very nice. Very
See,
nice.
just learn some shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, there we go. With that, I know the wife will be happy to get the discount. So
She's like, oh, it took the podcast for you to finally start.
she's gonna be so mad at that for sure. You never.
Like, yeah, at least I'm trying, okay? At least I'm trying.
Yeah, exactly. And you are. And we are trying. That's what this podcast is about, is trying.
And sometimes you got to get other people's outlooks, because, like, sometimes you always hear that in your, like, immediate people that you're around every day. So when you hear from someone different, like, it, like, opens up another door. Like, oh, okay, other people think like that, so you are right. Like that's what I, like, start learning, like.
Amen. Amen. And that's what it is. Collective conscience, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta have an open mind, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Try it. Try it out for a week. Try it out for a couple weeks.
No, yeah, it's like echinacea. You got to do that, and you got to, commit to it. It's even like garlic. They say some stuff like that, but it's like, you're not gonna take one and be cured, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Like, no, that mentality is, we got to get over.
That's why I just tell people, just try a jar, and if it doesn't work out for you, then don't try it again. But I would just recommend, just try, at least do it every day, of just one jar. Just take a teaspoon every day and see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Okay.
The discipline of that. That's like working out, training, same thing. You got to take your jar, show up, do your time, build it. Build off that,
And it shows within time, not short time.
No, I know a lot of guys that need that help, and they're like, the one thing I just keep trying to say is, you got to see the long game, because you want these results. You're not going to get them overnight, and all you're going to do is disappoint yourself. And it's like a vicious cycle where if you put into the long game, understand the commitment. It's like growing 3 months from a little cup. You leave it in the cup. It's going to grow either way.
Shit, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's why it shows you can stunt your own growth that way sometimes, too.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Staying in the same.
Stay in the same spot.
Mm-hmm. It's all about these.
Yes, sir. It's all our life.
You know what I'm saying? You got to take different paths in life to create a new you. Never forget what that circle that you were in, what you just were on, but grow.
Yeah, don't stay stagnant.
Absolutely. Keep growing, keep moving.
That's how it is. And certain people, the journey ends, and you can't hold on to it just for the sake of holding on to it.
And I'll say it, Todd, it's not like, not every loss is a loss. Like, it's a lesson.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Like my dad, right before he died, he got to see a dispensary that had a huge grow room, right?
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget this. He was like, "We won," like, and I thought that was cool. I was like, "Damn!" He went his whole life from being discharged out of the Army, disabled, with diabetes, to that day, like, being a criminal, in the eyes of our family and the eyes of the neighbors and the people in Florida when we lived there. You know what I mean? And, like, he was like, "We won." That's pretty cool. We won. Let's leave it on that. We're winning.
Love it.
Just came a long way.
Oh yeah, takes a lion. Takes some risk.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And those were the pioneers that took a lot of risks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad got locked up more than once for that shit.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. He got caught. It was a sound complaint, and they smelled it, right? The officers pulled into our driveway. They smelled it. It gave them probable cause for county sheriff in Florida.
Oh yeah, you're gonna smell that shit no matter what.
And what they did, though, was sneaky. They like crept up on him and my uncle and then hit him with a light after they were in the backyard. My dad was like, "That's illegal." And they were like, "Nah, we smelled it." And that's all that it took was the smell. And they were like cleaning up. They were getting done, but he had an ounce. And in Florida, it was enough. 2 years probation, bro. And like 2 weeks, he had to be locked up. I was like, dude.
So back in the day, like my friend, one of my old school friends, he actually had a few different houses he rented out, and we made some, plants in there, and it was very fun. And he had a regiment, he had investors, and he was cutting corners a lot of the time. So, and this was where it was, back in the day, it was, you could get a wreck and you could grow 100 plants, and you can do
Right.
it.
But with investors, it gets stressful quick.
Well, that part is good, but then when you start to cut corners and things like that,
Yeah.
and it starts to get dangerous with the law and stuff like that.
So anytime you're cutting
Yeah.
corners. So back to what we were saying, I wanted to say this too. I just remembered when you're talking about quality, right? Pre-rolls, brands. I think a good rule to follow. Listen up, brands.
Yeah.
Uncle Chris is talking, but what we do is make your shit so that your enemy at any point in time could go into a shop, buy your product, take it down to the newsroom, and run whatever fucking dumbass test they want to run on it, and you be flying colors, because that's the worst thing that's going to happen. You know what I mean? That's where somebody's going to try and,
Hey, keep
you
it.
know.
That's funny that you said that, because now that I'm working for 710, that's a part of my job. So I'm like, they're gonna hire me to do like certain shops. Like I'm gonna go in their shop.
That keeps
and
it
I'm
real.
gonna have to press the bud tenders, and I'm gonna have to look at the product, and I'm gonna have to make sure that they know what they're talking about with the product. That if the product is A1, it's smoking exactly how it's supposed to be smoking, and everything's true to what they're saying it is. Like,
And that's crucial. That's
'cause, like,
money
they
in the
can-
fucking bank.
Some of these brands are just calling it this name or this name, and it's not even really that.
Yep.
Or they're just putting some bullshit in a bag, and like they don't even
That's
know.
where
Like,
the millions of strains gets crazy, because they're like, this white rhino OG, and I'm like, and again, I come from the East Coast, so there were strains back in the 90s, early 2000s so what they say is Sour Diesel was like an NYC,
Yep.
and then the Chem Dog, the
Yep, Chem
Afghanistan, Afgooey, and those strains, what have those become if they've been, you know what I mean? And there's so much of this, but when we know a pit bull, when we see it,
Yeah, that's what I was
You
gonna
know what I'm
say,
saying?
and that's why like I've started getting down to where I've studied that strain, like certain strains. Like if it's a new strain for me, I'll buy it from 5 different brands just so I know what that taste profile is like, so I know what that high's like, and now I'm on it. Now, anytime you can't fool me with what a Chem Dog is, you can't tell me this is Skittles. Like I'll be like, I know exactly what Skittles looks like. I know
Yes.
what it smells like, tastes like.
Yes.
Like, everybody's like, oh no, it's the same shit. Nope. I know which one's different. I know which one's the same.
Doing
I
your
know if
research.
it's just all gelato.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this shit is. A lot of it's just lemon cherry gelato at the end of the day. But there are a lot of different ones out there. Like I'm fucking with the Chem Dogs and shit like that, and the Biscottis.
The original came
And,
out.
and I'll say, I don't know if you've heard of this strain called Gelinade. I guess that was a popular strain back in the day, but it's bringing a new wave now.
Gelinade.
It's lemon tree mixed
Damn,
with
this is
gelato
tasty.
41.
okay, lemon
Straight
tree,
fuck.
gelato 41.
And gelato 41 is gassy, and lemon trees, of course, lemon terps. So you get more, like from certain brands, you'll get like more of a tropical vibe. You'll get more of a like gassy with a little bit of lemon terps. Some brands you'll get more lemon terps and it's just mid gassy. But overall, the high is really good. You get that cool body relaxed feeling, but you're like locked into whatever you're doing. That's like a really good one. I've been trying it from like 5-6 different brands like recently, and I've done reviews on them. Every one that I've smoked is smoking A1.
There you go.
Especially Planta. Shout out Planta and Green Dog.
All right, hell
you go.
yeah.
So if you want to check those videos out, head on over to his YouTube. He's got them all.
Yep.
Got them all. So you can definitely see the brands and, see this man's knowledge on that. Much respect on that, because, that definitely takes a little bit, brother.
Big ups. It is knowledge. Knowledge is key, and,
sure.
and that's crucial. You're like a wizard.
And that's much needed out here in this field, and, in this time that we're in with marijuana. And it's, we need people out there. We need walkers, weed walkers.
We're close, but we're not there, lads.
But,
You know what I'm saying?
that's why, honestly, like that's why I want to work for brands more, because like when you're working as a bud tender, you're not really able to educate your bud tenders, and sometimes the bud tenders don't even want to hear it. But if a customer is educating them, they'll listen more. So now that I'm
Amen.
working for a brand, they'll somewhat listen to me a little more, because they're like, oh, wait, he works for a brand.
You.
Oh, hold on.
I like
So
this
like
man's
because
idea.
I've noticed that when brand reps come in all the time, they'll be listening to them all the time. They'll
Full
be like,
on.
you know what I just learned from them? I just started learning this. Like Doja just came in and told us that they're like worldwide. I didn't even know that they're big in the UK. They sell out in the UK. They sell for $200 an eighth, and they'll sell out. So they were
Damn.
like putting people on
That's
the game.
bougie shit.
That's some bougie
That's
shit.
the Louis
And
Vuitton.
So they tell you out here, they're like, you're tripping about $47. Like, why are you? There's people out there spending $200 on this.
Where is this?
This is in the UK.
Dude, so when we were in
Like,
England,
at the little
it's
shops.
hard as fuck to get weed. And anywhere where
got-
you have that, Now it's on $200 an eighth. No one's gonna fucking trip, dog.
But,
Man.
and I was gonna say, and it's legit. It's from they have the QR code, so it'll go right to the website. It'll give you your points, everything.
Wow.
And I found out they're in Thailand. They have grows in Thailand. They have a bunch of like.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a bunch
Wow.
of different spots that they named, but I totally like couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
You can look it up. People
We're
will look it
stoners.
up. But
my
yeah,
whole-
check it out.
But my whole point to all that is like all the bud tenders like soaked that up, and like I've
Yes.
seen that. But if I would have told them that, they wouldn't have cared. They'd be like, "Oh man, whatever, Outcast. You always yapping about something. You always know everything about these brands. You know, yeah, it's always something like that. So like when you're a brand rep, they like respect you more. Like they'll understand. So I feel like that's cool that I'll be able to educate the bud tenders more.
Like
That's what we need. We need educated bud tenders. We just got people that are just trying to make a quick buck in the game, or just trying to like do something real quick and then leave. Like we just need more people that are for the industry.
Right.
beautiful.
And when I go to get good food and I got a good server, you know what I mean? They'll even be like, look, this wine on this year, there was a drought, so it's a little more bitter than the others. That falls in line with the whole quality control. And if you're like, nah, we know this growers did they best on this year because there was now that's wine that lasts. Maybe concentrates can last that long. I don't know the shelf life.
I found out concentrates can last like 4 years.
That's dope. So then, yeah, you'd have literally
can-
a
like, you
wide
can leave-
spectrum of all of this. You know what I mean? And that would be huge. So
Wait, you said concentrate?
Like
4
rosin.
years.
Rosin.
Rosin. I was gonna say.
What about, like,
I'll
BHO,
say-
like-
well, I'm not sure about BHO, but I know if you put it in the freezer, it's how you preserve it.
Yeah.
Because there's people from 710 that say that they got jars from back in the day that they literally take just a little scoop out of it just to take a
seal
dab
it back
because-
up.
Yeah, and put it right back in the freezer because you're supposed to just let it get to room temp and throw it right back in your freezer.
So if it decarboxylates, what's happened?
yeah.
Right.
What does that become? Like just probably some crusty shit.
Yeah, it'll just be crusty shit. They say it just loses mainly it doesn't lose a lot of the potency. It loses more of the flavor. Like, because
Okay.
that's what like you're mostly
Makes
wanting
sense.
to get when you're getting rosin. But you're going to get more CBN because that's what happens like with older flower, with the decarboxylation. It's going to start turning it into the CBN. So it just make you go to sleep more, even if it was a sativa.
So in the apocalypse, when we raid the dispensaries,
Yes.
we know that we get some 90-night CBNs.
Yeah, so we'll leave some. We'll lock some away.
Yeah.
And
But
these will be all
hide your
straight in.
stash, yo. That's good shit though. That's really cool.
Because I thought like all wax is like over after a year, but they said it's just how you preserve it, how you take care of it.
Yeah.
That's why I respect the shops that take care of it. Because some shops don't even give a fuck how they get
Nah,
their
they
rosin.
don't-
They'll just
they
put it
don't
on, leave it on the ground.
You can tell when you open it, like if it's all flat.
And if you do that, please pick it up, put it in the freezer.
Tell them, big dog. Tell 'em, big dog.
Come on, guys.
They work so hard to grow the flower,
Yeah.
and then they extract the flower with another company, and then they pay somebody to deliver it just for you to put it on the ground and just leave it there.
The packaging.
Maybe even days sometimes, people.
Bro, like these people transport it in a portable freezer. Why can't
it's
you
just
take
like-
the time? Like what kind of
Some of these
disrespect
buds-
is that?
That's
Like,
such a good point though. Like,
Seriously.
hey,
You got,
you know,
honestly, this could be the best job you can. It is, you know.
amen, and it gives a lot of people work. You know, along
but
that
just-
line, there's
you
like
have to,
five.
You have to appreciate
yeah,
it. and
everybody
some of
got
the-
a job.
Yeah,
You know, just do your part. Just do your job.
Yeah, like
Don't worry about nobody else's.
Yeah, you talking about
If you don't
everybody
work,
else's
you don't
job,
eat.
you
Don't
messing
worry
up.
about nobody else's job but your own job.
Yes.
And then this whole job will become done, and we'll all be peacefully fucking.
Yes.
Maybe
Get
even
it to the customer. Like, what if you were the customer spending $100 on a gram and then it came out nasty as hell?
Mhm.
Shout out the brands that even if the shop does mess up your stuff and you're unsatisfied, you can always hit up the brands and they'll show you love.
Yes, yes.
Shout out Baba Cook, because to be honest with you, I recently got a bad experience with their flour, and they made it right and gave me 3 Ace and gave me a gram of rosin to like.
that's what's
Yeah.
up, and that left you in a better space.
Yeah.
You were happy with even the compensation product wasn't just like some whatever.
that
That all
part.
makes a huge difference. What is
Yes.
our quality of life? It's not like the way that we're treated sometimes, especially as consumers. It's weird, and we don't understand we have power with our money, and we have a voice, and with the more options, then boom, you know, now what the quality can really raise up, and we can have all of what we just talked about like on the next level. That was cool. That was really cool.
I love it. Yeah, amen on that.
Yeah, that's why I respect the brand. Like I said, like even if it wasn't the best weed, like I've smoked a couple other stuff. It's good, but it's not good for the price. But what I respect about the brand is that there's not a lot of brands that you'll reach out to and they'll give you either your money back or give you product. They'll just be like, well, that sucks, or they won't even answer you.
Right.
So like I really respect that.
Yeah, amen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, that was
Don't
cool.
put them together because that part. Oh yeah, hell yeah,
Shout out Baba Cool, man.
man. That's right. Well, you wanna end this one?
This was a really
We've been
good one.
going
I want to
an
have you
hour.
back on. I think that'd be really cool,
appreciate
brother.
that.
If you're
Yeah.
down, and have
sure.
like let us know. Like we want to do some field
Of
trips.
course, I'm down. That's amazing.
Go check out some of
Yes.
these
I'm down.
facilities
Some
if they'll
group
let us.
activities.
I was
Some
gonna say I want to
events.
have my boy Rosewood on. He works at my job at Plant Galaxy as well, and he's a rapper. He's has his own brand called the Athees. I want
Bitchin'.
to say that'd be like cool to have like somebody that has their own like brand and their own like different vibe going on.
So from
Let's
the
spread the
bottom,
word.
bottom to the shop, bro. That's
Yeah,
beautiful the
that's
way it's
that's
going
my
for
vibe.
him, and I appreciate that man too because he has shown me love every time I went into that shop too, and there was never any bad vibes, no bad bud tender experience as you could probably get sometimes when you go into some of these bud shops, you know. So that man is fucking amazing too. So shout out to him for sure. But let's shout out your channel, Outcast.
Outcast Exotic Talks.
There you go.
Yeah, all
Outcast
one word.
Exotic Talks.
All one word, man.
Yes, sir. Cause we smoked that exotic today.
Yeah.
That shit was fire, my man. Thank you for those rolls for sure. And y'all, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Hell yeah. Be safe.
Later, y'all.
Nicely done. Oh yeah.
Boom.